Shu Kai was once the perfect poster boy for Chinese television. Handsome, talented, and backed by one of the country's most powerful producers, he climbed the ladder of fame at lightning speed. Fans adored him for his roles in hit dramas. Brands rushed to sign him, and his clean image made him one of the safest bets in the industry. But in the summer of 2025, that carefully crafted image shattered. Allegations of cheating, manipulation, and abuse exploded across social media, dragging Shu Kai into one of the biggest scandals in years. Stay tuned and subscribe for more celebrity deep dives. Shu Kai grew up in Shenzhen, a bustling city in southern China that is often described as the country's Silicon Valley. He never originally planned to be an actor. In his teenage years, he tried his hand at modeling and quickly found success because of his tall frame and sharp features. Photographers loved him, and within a short time, his face began appearing in magazines and online campaigns. His career seemed to be heading in the direction of fashion, not television. But in 2016, Shu Kai made a major decision that changed everything. He signed with Yuzheng Studio, run by one of the most influential producers in China. Yuzheng is a figure known for discovering and shaping new talent, and his endorsement gave Shu Kai instant credibility. Not long after signing, he began training as an actor and landed his first television roles. The transition from model to actor can be difficult, but Shu Kai had a natural screen presence that made him stand out. His breakthrough came in 2018 with the historical drama Story of Yangshi Palace. The show became a cultural phenomenon in China and gained attention abroad, streaming on platforms across Asia and even reaching audiences in the United States. Shu Kai played a young, ambitious general whose loyalty and quiet strength made him one of the most beloved characters. Almost overnight, he became a household name. Fans began following his personal life closely, and media outlets labeled him one of the most promising young stars of his generation. After Yangshi Palace, he continued to build momentum with a series of popular dramas. One of the most talked about was Falling Into Your Smile, a romantic series set in the world of esports. The show gained a massive online following, especially among younger audiences who were drawn to the mix of gaming culture and romance. By this point, Shu Kai had cultivated an image as both a charming leading man and a reliable performer who could carry major productions. Advertisers took notice, and he became a regular face for fashion brands, tech companies, and lifestyle endorsements. Despite his rapid rise, Shu Kai's personal life occasionally attracted attention. Early in his career, he had a brief relationship with actress Bai Lu, another rising star who worked under Yuzheng. Fans were fascinated by their chemistry on screen and off, but the romance ended quietly. Rumors about Shu Kai's private relationships would pop up from time to time, yet nothing ever stuck long enough to damage his reputation. His team carefully managed his public image, emphasizing his professionalism and hard work. Industry insiders often described Shu Kai as Yuzheng's golden boy. The producer clearly believed in him, regularly casting him in lead roles and speaking highly of him in interviews. For viewers, Shu Kai seemed to represent a new generation of Chinese actors who were equally comfortable in costume epics and modern dramas. He had the looks, the fan base, and the industry backing to potentially join the ranks of the country's top stars. As his fame grew, so did the scrutiny. The Chinese entertainment industry has a long history of closely monitoring its idols, and fans online tend to debate every detail of their favorite actors' lives. Shu Kai, like many young celebrities, became the subject of constant speculation on Weibo and Douban forums. Some admired his clean image, while others whispered about his dating life. Still, nothing concrete ever came to light, and most fans remained fiercely loyal. What set Shu Kai apart was his ability to connect with different demographics. Older viewers who loved historical dramas saw him as a dependable actor who could bring weight to traditional roles. Younger fans, especially teenagers and those in their 20s, were drawn to his charm in modern love stories. This dual appeal made him valuable not just to producers, but also to advertisers looking for a star with broad influence. By 2024, Shukai had secured a stable position in the entertainment world. He was no longer just a breakout star, but an established name, often cast in high-budget productions with wide release. His image was polished and carefully curated, hardworking, attractive, and unproblematic. For many casual fans, he embodied the dream of rising from obscurity to stardom through talent and perseverance. Yet even as his career continued to climb, the pressures of fame were building. The same online culture that fueled his popularity could just as quickly turn against him. Audiences in China have little patience for personal scandals, and actors can lose endorsements overnight if their reputation takes a hit. Shukai was aware of this reality, but until the summer of 2025, he had managed to avoid the kind of controversy that destroys careers. He seemed untouchable, the kind of star who could move seamlessly from one success to another without stumbling. This background set the stage for why the events of August 2025 came as such a shock. Shukai was not just another actor, he was one of the brightest figures in Chinese television, trusted by producers, loved by brands, and admired by millions of fans. His clean record and industry support made the sudden accusations all the more explosive, because they challenged the very image that had fueled his rise to the top. In late August of 2025, the steady image Shukai had cultivated for years began to crack in a way that no one expected. The first blow came on August 22nd when Shu Lisha, one of his ex-girlfriends, broke her silence online. She posted a detailed account accusing Shukai of cheating on her with Zhao Qing, a younger actress who had recently appeared in supporting roles on television. Her story was not vague or cryptic, like so many celebrity gossip posts. It was specific, emotional, and full of pointed claims. She alleged that Shukai had used the excuse of being drunk to cross boundaries, that he had manipulated her trust, and that he had carried on a hidden relationship with Zhao Qing even while seeing her. The entertainment industry in China is tightly watched, but scandals usually start with hints and coded messages. This one exploded immediately because Shu Lisha chose to use her real name and because she had once been publicly connected to Shukai. Screenshots of her post spread across Weibo within minutes, and online discussion groups lit up with questions about whether she was telling the truth. Some fans dismissed it as the rant of a bitter ex. Others were quick to point out that she had little to gain and much to lose by attaching her name to such serious accusations. The story might have remained a one-sided claim if not for what happened next. Almost as if emboldened by Shu Lisha's courage, another woman stepped forward. Da Jin, also a former girlfriend of Shukai, added her voice to the controversy. Her allegations went beyond cheating. She said Shukai had a pattern of abusive behavior, that he would often play the role of the intoxicated victim to excuse his actions, and that she too had been manipulated into staying silent. The way she described her experience echoed some of the claims Shu Lisha had made. Suddenly, the scandal no longer looked like a single angry post, but like a pattern of behavior that had followed Shukai through multiple relationships. The timing of the accusations made the situation even more volatile. Shukai had just wrapped a new drama that was slated for release later in the year, and promotional campaigns featuring his face were already in motion. Brands that had contracts with him were now forced to watch the unfolding story closely, calculating whether to pause advertising or ride out the storm. In the cutthroat world of Chinese entertainment, one bad headline can cost a star millions overnight. For a short time, Shukai stayed silent, a strategy many celebrities use in hopes that attention will fade. But within 24 hours, the situation escalated again. Leaked chat messages began circulating online. These screenshots, allegedly taken from private conversations, appeared to show Shukai coordinating late-night meetings with Zhao Qing. Some even included suggestive language that fueled speculation about the nature of their relationship. Netizens combed through every detail, comparing timestamps, analyzing the tone of the messages, and debating whether they were authentic. Then came the videos. Grainy footage from a hotel security camera appeared to show Shukai and Zhao Qing entering the same building late at night. Another clip suggested they left together hours later. These clips were not conclusive proof of an affair, but combined with the accusations already circulating, they deepened public suspicion. Online forums exploded with theories, some insisting that the two were only preparing for roles together, others convinced that the evidence spoke for itself. At this stage, Yu Zheng, Shukai's powerful mentor and producer, stepped into the spotlight. Yu Zheng issued a public defense of his star, insisting that Zhao Qing's presence at the hotel had been strictly professional. According to him, the two had met to rehearse lines and work on character dynamics, a common practice for dedicated actors. He dismissed the allegations as malicious attacks meant to tear down one of the brightest talents in the industry. His statement might have carried weight in another situation, but the mounting evidence made his defense appear weak. Many netizens mocked the idea of secret late-night rehearsals at hotels, calling it an insult to their intelligence. As the hours ticked by, the scandal only grew louder. Entertainment blogs dissected every new piece of information, while mainstream outlets like Sina and Sohu reported on the controversy as it developed. Shukai's fan base, once united in their admiration, split into factions. One group rushed to his defense, arguing that he was being targeted by obsessive fans with personal grudges. They accused Shulisha of acting like a saseng, a term used in Asia to describe stalker-like fans who insert themselves into celebrities' private lives. The other group, increasingly vocal, argued that the pattern of stories from multiple women was too strong to ignore. They began demanding accountability, saying Shukai should step away from projects until the matter was clarified. The involvement of Zhao Qing added another layer of drama. She was relatively new to the industry and had been working to establish herself as a serious actress. Now, she found herself dragged into one of the year's biggest controversies. Her team quickly denied the allegations, releasing a statement that she had never been romantically involved with Shukai, and that any rumors suggesting otherwise were defamatory. They hinted at legal action against anyone spreading false claims. Yet the denials did little to stop the wave of speculation, and Zhao Qing's name began trending alongside Shukai's across multiple platforms. Shukai himself eventually broke his silence with a firm denial. His statement was short but direct. He denied all allegations of cheating, abuse, and misconduct, and announced that he would pursue legal action against those spreading rumors. He painted himself as the victim of a smear campaign designed to destroy his reputation. While some fans accepted his words, others found it hard to reconcile his strong denial with the growing pile of messages, videos, and testimonies floating online. The scandal was no longer a small fire that could be contained. It had turned into a full-blown public spectacle. Every hour seemed to bring new leaks, new commentary, and new debates. Influencers on Douyin posted reaction videos dissecting the case. Weibo threads ran into thousands of comments, with netizens arguing late into the night. Even people who were not fans of Shukai began following the story, attracted by the mix of romance, betrayal, and celebrity downfall. Behind the scenes, industry insiders speculated about what would happen next. Would brands quietly withdraw their contracts? Would television networks delay the release of his new drama? Would Yu Zheng continue to protect his prized star? Or would the producer eventually distance himself? These questions lingered as the situation remained unresolved. But one thing was clear: Shukai's image as the clean, untouchable leading man had been shattered. The scandal also highlighted a broader truth about the entertainment world in China. Stars can rise quickly, powered by fandoms and high-profile producers, but the same forces that elevate them can also tear them down in a matter of days. Shukai had spent years cultivating trust with audiences, but the speed and intensity of the accusations revealed how fragile that trust really was. By the end of August 23rd, the story had spiraled far beyond what anyone could have imagined just days earlier. What began as a single post from an ex-girlfriend had turned into one of the most widely discussed scandals of the year, with ripple effects spreading across the industry. Shu Kai, once the symbol of stability and promise, now stood at the center of a storm that showed no sign of passing. In the days following the initial explosion of accusations, the scandal surrounding Shu Kai entered a volatile and uncertain stage. His official denial and threat of legal action did not calm the storm as intended. Instead, the firm tone of his statement only fueled more conversation online. To many fans who had followed him for years, his response felt too sharp, as though he was trying to shut down discussion rather than address the heart of the claims. Others saw it as a sign of confidence, the stance of a man with nothing to hide. The divide in public opinion grew deeper, and each new comment or rumor seemed to widen the gap. Zhao Qing's involvement continued to complicate the picture. Despite her team's clear rejection of any romantic connection, she became the target of relentless scrutiny. Internet users dug through her past interviews, behind-the-scenes clips, and social media posts, searching for hidden clues. Innocent remarks she had made about her admiration for senior actors were now twisted into suggestions that she had been signaling her relationship with Shu Kai all along. For a young actress just beginning to establish herself, the pressure was immense. What was meant to be a season of opportunity and career growth instead turned into one of the harshest trials of her life. Meanwhile, Shu Lisha and Da Jin, the two women who had spoken out, continued to attract both support and harassment. Some praised their courage for coming forward against a star with such powerful backing. Others accused them of seeking attention, money, or revenge. Their personal lives were picked apart in the same way celebrities are scrutinized, with strangers questioning their motives and backgrounds. What had started as a private matter between individuals had now become a nationwide debate about morality, power, and the double standards of the entertainment industry. The industry itself reacted in cautious silence. Brands with Shu Kai's face on their billboards avoided making direct statements, choosing instead to quietly remove promotional material or delay new campaigns. Streaming platforms that had planned to feature his upcoming drama stopped advertising it as aggressively, clearly waiting to see how the scandal would play out. No network or company wanted to be caught supporting a figure who might soon become untouchable. The speed with which these partnerships shifted revealed how fragile celebrity endorsements can be in China, where reputation is everything and public anger can rise and fall in waves. For Shu Kai, the most painful part of the fallout may not have been the legal threats or the financial losses, but the betrayal of trust from fans. On Weibo, longtime supporters who had defended him through earlier rumors began expressing disappointment. They said the evidence, though not fully verified, was too heavy to ignore. Some fan clubs announced that they would no longer organize events in his honor, at least until clarity was reached. Others doubled down in their defense, claiming he was the victim of a coordinated smear campaign designed to bring down one of the most successful young actors of the era. The argument over whether Shu Lisha was truly an aggrieved ex-girlfriend or a Sasaeng fan became a major point of contention. Her detailed accusations made her appear credible, yet detractors insisted that only someone deeply obsessed could track his movements so closely. The debate reflected a larger tension in fandom culture, where the line between devotion and intrusion is often blurred. Shu Kai's scandal forced the public to confront uncomfortable questions about how much power fans should hold over the private lives of stars. By the end of the first week, the frenzy had not slowed. Instead, it evolved. Commentators began analyzing the situation not just as a celebrity scandal, but as a cultural moment. The case symbolized the fragility of modern stardom in an age where private messages can leak instantly and public opinion can shift overnight. Shu Kai, once regarded as a model of stability, now stood as a cautionary tale about the risks that come with rapid fame and carefully curated images. What comes next for him remains uncertain. If he can weather the storm, rebuild trust, and continue working, he may yet salvage his career, though perhaps never with the same untarnished image he once held. If the evidence continues to mount and the public grows more hostile, he may face the fate of other stars whose careers ended almost overnight. For Zhao Qing, the challenge is even greater, as she must prove that her talent and dedication can outshine the shadow of a scandal that was not of her making. The Shu Kai case has become more than just a gossip story. It is now a lens through which fans, critics, and industry leaders examine the delicate balance between celebrity, privacy, and accountability. The outcome will shape not only the future of one actor, but also the expectations audiences place on those who rise to stardom in China's fiercely competitive entertainment world. The scandal surrounding Shu Kai is far from over. His career now hangs in the balance, caught between loyal fans who still defend him and critics demanding accountability. Zhao Qing, once an emerging talent, is left to clear her name, while Xu Lixia and Da Jin face the harsh glare of public judgment. What started as a single accusation has spiraled into a cultural flashpoint that raises questions about fame, privacy, and responsibility in modern China. Will Shu Kai recover, or is this the end of his golden boy era? Don't forget to subscribe for updates on this unfolding drama.